Thursday. You're almost to the weekend. Well done. You've almost made it yet again. It's funny how we make it every week, and yet it seems so hard just about every week to feel like we're going to get to the weekend. But you're nearly there, which is awesome. So today is Tip Thursday. I'm going to give you a tip which is going to seem a little bit counterintuitive, but I'm going to do it anyway. For a lot of people who follow Blossom Earth and use Blossom Earth products, I know they have a lot of health problems. And so something I want to encourage people to do is to not just watch what you eat, but figure out what foods work for your body and what foods do not work for your body. Whether it's allergies, intolerances, or just trigger foods, it doesn't really matter. It's not about giving it a label. It's about figuring out what your body likes and what your body does not like and working with that. So how do we do that? The first thing we can do is keep a food diary. Food diaries are really controversial, and personally, coming from a background of having anorexia, I am not a fan of food diaries. They can make people obsessive, they can make people very judgmental on themselves, and they can cause calorie counting, which often isn't a great idea. However, there is a place for food diaries, and I'm going to talk you through why I think this is a good idea and how to do it. So, often when we are eating and just going through our day to day, we're snacking, we're grabbing things on the run, we're not planning, and we're not conscious, we're not eating mindfully. We're not planning mindfully, we're not eating mindfully. So often we're eating things that really we would rather not be eating, that we know aren't great for us, and we're in a hurry, and so we just do it. One of the worst things for me for doing this is eating my kids' crusts. Toast crusts. I don't even eat bread very much. My body works best when I have a low carb diet and definitely low grain. And they eat really healthy, beautiful, organic sourdough toast. It's great. But my body doesn't work terribly well when I have it. And yet, those crunchy morsels, when they've finished their breakfast, are so inviting. And I normally don't even eat breakfast. I fast, and I eat at around 11:30 in the morning. That's me breaking the fast. And yet those tempting little morsels of crusty bread with a little bit of butter on the edges is so tempting to me. It's ridiculous. And because I'm often on the run and it's morning and I'm busy, I will throw a couple in my mouth before I even think about it. And I get to the end of the day and I think, gee, I've eaten well today. Why do I feel rubbish? And I'm really struggling to figure out why it is that I don't feel great. Well, it's all those things I threw in my mouth without thinking along the way that I don't even remember because I was so mindlessly doing it that, I suffer for it. And so this is where a food diary can come in. I do not suggest keeping a food diary permanently. A food diary is a snapshot. So you might keep it for 1 day, 1 week max. But even that, I would suggest doing it for a couple of different days in the week. So you might do it on a Monday, you might do it on a Thursday, and you might do it on a Sunday, so that you get a snapshot of different days in your week and what those days look like. So Mondays are often crazier for people. There's more hurrying and more rushing. And so on a Monday, it might involve more snacky foods. On a Sunday, for example, if you're having a nice family day at home or you've gone out for lunch, you might be eating things out and about or that your children want. You might do baking with them. You might be picnicking with friends and friends bring food that's very tempting but you wouldn't normally have in your own house. So having a snapshot of a few different days is a really good idea. Now, you don't need to buy specific books for this or apps even. There is a few different free apps you can get, or you can actually just write it down on pen and paper, the very old-fashioned way, or you could put it in your notes in your phone so that when you're looking at an app, often they'll want to put macros with it. So carbs, protein, calories, fats, all those things will become listed automatically as well, and that's where we can start becoming obsessive. If we are literally just writing the foods down, we're less likely to become obsessive, and we just get that snapshot of, oh my God, I remember eating that thing, but I had forgotten about it. So what will happen is we get insight into our behavior that we wouldn't have otherwise had. That's all we're looking for, is insight. Once we have insight, then the next step is coming up with a plan, which I'll talk to you about next week. But for now, it's just about getting some insights. You might choose 1 or 2 days this week to just take note of every time you put something in your mouth, what it was, how much of it there was, and that's it. And at the end of the week, you'll have a look and you can go, oh yeah, wow, I had 3 coffees that day. I didn't even think I drank that much coffee. And coffee could be a trigger food for you. So it's not about guilting ourselves. It is not about feeling bad. It's not about counting calories. It's just about being mindful of what we put in our body, because often we're not mindful. So I'll follow up next week with some food planning tips. But for now, just think about doing a very basic food diary and getting that insight into what your behaviors are around food that might be affecting your health. Good luck with that. Bye.